Yo, so I came across this story, man. Rapper charged with abusing and torturing his 4-year-old daughter, man. I clicked on the link. I'm about to pull. I seen a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go into details because I'm gonna do it on camera. But this shit crazy, y'all. This is like I just don't understand, man.
A rising rapper from Atlanta is accused of beating his 4-year-old daughter so badly she hasn't opened her eyes in months.
What?
Her whole right side of her brain was damaged.
Now the child's mother is speaking out for the first time with shocking new details and allegations. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
Okay, so that was the mother. All right, I want to see what she got to say about this. That's crazy, yo. That don't even make sense. Offbeat behavior.
Kiana Watts met Taquan Alexander back in February of 2016. The two were co-workers at a McDonald's restaurant in the Atlanta area. They soon would fall in love, and they welcomed a baby girl later that year. Her name is Alani. But then in 2020, Alexander, he packed up his things. He moved to the Los Angeles area to pursue a rap career. Then in September 2021, Watts says that she allowed Alani to go visit him just for about 3 months. However, weeks before Alani was to return home to Atlanta.
All right, so I don't know, man. He moved in 2020. So a year later, she was sending the baby to go with him for 3 months. So what I don't understand, like the baby don't, I guess. But if you don't, I don't know. I just was about to say, like, I don't know how long that baby went without seeing him. But I know if you went from if you went from Atlanta to Cali, you know, for a year, I know you probably ain't, that probably was the first trip that the baby seen the father since he left. I don't know, man. Because usually like a 4-year-old probably is nervous leaving the mom that's been there every day, especially every day for an entire year, and probably a year and some change, to go be with the father. Like, I don't know, man.
She says that she got an emergency call that Alani was being rushed to the hospital with severe brain injuries and fractured ribs. Kiana Watts says that November 29, 2021 will forever be one of the worst days of her life.
A detective called me and informed me that my daughter was bleeding from the brain and has had emergency surgery.
She then got a text and a FaceTime from Alexander.
He told me that Alani passed out standing in timeout. The ambulance is here.
You know, he told you that she had passed out, but I'm sure you had questions.
She passed out from standing in the corner. She's 4. Like how much trouble did a 4-year-old get into where like, what? And then on top of that, you got to remember, bro, she don't know you. Like, so the things that you want her to do and how she acts, she's not around you for over a year. Like, she don't act like how you would expect her to act for her to be getting in trouble like that.
I did. And
hold on, let's go. Hold up.
Out standing in timeout. The ambulance is here.
You know, he told you that she had passed out, but I'm sure you had questions.
I did. And when I asked him, was she okay? How she passed out? He really wasn't answering me. Like, he was just shaking his head and covering his mouth like this, not answering me. First of all, it looked like he had just woke up.
She hopped on the first flight from Atlanta to Los Angeles.
What?
Describe what she looked like.
Oh my God. She had a tube down her throat.
Why is she smiling?
She didn't have hair on the side of her head. It was a marker right here, written in the middle of her forehead because of the surgery.
According to this ER report obtained exclusively by the Shade Room, the 4-year-old Alani had, quote, extensive bleeding located on the right side of her brain. And because of the building of pressure, the child's right part of her skull was removed to evacuate the bleeding.
Instead of being
What?
truthful, I had to find out from a detective what really happened.
We also got our hands on this 60-page court document. Alexander allegedly told investigators that, quote, the child is a bedwetter, and when she wets the bed, he punishes her by making her do rigorous exercises with an element of physical abuse, like hitting with boxing gloves, hitting her with a...
This punk ass dude, look, man, she's a 4-year-old girl. I'm a girl dad. I got 4 girls, yo. I never punched them, ever. And I never put on punching bags, punching gloves, boxing gloves, rather, and used them as a punching bag. I never did that. That shit is crazy. She's 4. She's 4. I just wonder how the mom, how their relationship was prior to him leaving. Because this shit can't be just some random. It just can't be like it just all of a sudden this happened.
belt and hitting her with a speaker wire. The report also goes on to say that
hitting her with a belt and speaker wire? Come on, man. This dude is a man, yo, and that's your daughter. That's all the kid has, man. It's the mother and the father. People who she looks to them for everything: protection, food, comfort, love. Who wants their kid to be afraid of them? A 4-year-old to be afraid of them. Like, that's crazy.
on the day that Alani was rushed to the hospital, she, quote, wet the bed, so he made her do wall planks. Then he gave her a whooping with a belt.
With the belt?
During this whooping with the belt, the child tried to protect herself by moving a stereo speaker in front of her to block the father's actions. The father then proceeded to take the speaker wire and whoop her with that, then had her do more rigorous exercises while he drew her a bath. Moments later, he says that, quote, when he found his child was having seizure-like symptoms and appeared to be losing consciousness, he put her in the bath in an effort to revive her. When that did not work, he called 911.
I was confused because I talked to Alani all the time when she was out there. I got pictures all the time from him.
At the hospital, doctors found deep bruises and puncture wounds all over her body. Court records also showing that Alexander said he, quote, only became aware of the puncture wound that day and shared that he does not know how she got that puncture wound.
Get the fuck, listen, man, a 4-year-old, if they walk into the wall, anything, they could be doing anything, man. And you know they be fake crying and shit too, like just to get your attention. A puncture wound, some shit went inside her body, opened up a hole in her body, and you don't think that she was crying? And she's 4. She can speak quite well at 4 years old. You don't think that she came at him and told him? Let's just say we know he did it, but let's just say he didn't do it, right? Because he just found out based off this dumbass report that he just found out, right, that she had the wound. So you don't believe that she would have had came to him crying her eyes out, talking about, man, look at this shit. Blood is coming up out of me. What? Man, this dude is a fucking punk, man.
He suggested to authorities that Alani was playing with puppies over the Thanksgiving holiday, and that's perhaps how she sustained those wounds. After questioning, Taquan Alexander...
Look at his old punk ass, man. And people be so tough. I bet you his music is about killing and shit and how tough he is and all this dumbass shit.
Was arrested and charged on felony assault on a child, aggravated mayhem, torture, and child endangerment.
How many people live in a house that you know of?
And that's the crazy part. It was him, his brother, his uncle, and his other uncle. And
him, his brother, his uncle, and his other uncle. 4 men. 4 men. Hold on.
And that's the crazy part. It was him, his brother, his uncle, and his other uncle.
Oh,
and
wow.
his girlfriend. I knew none of that.
So 5 people.
About the owner of the house and his girlfriend.
Watts claims that this all happened while Alexander was living at his uncle's house in Thousand Oaks. She says that his uncle is L.A. Rams cornerback Troy Hill.
Last time I've heard from them was when it happened, and no one everyone who lives in that house, story does not add up to me.
We reached out to Troy Hill's management team for
Oh,
a
it's
comment.
no way y'all about to talk to him.
In an email, a spokesperson wrote, quote, Mr. Hill is aware of the allegations against Mr. Alexander. Unfortunately, Mr. Hill was not present at the time of the incident, nor was he the legal owner of the residence and has no personal knowledge of what transpired.
Wow.
Additionally, as a result of the ongoing investigation against Mr. Alexander, Mr. Hill has to refrain from further
Of course,
comment.
he's not getting involved in that.
Say hi.
Look at that.
Mommy,
The baby didn't open her eyes or hasn't opened her eyes in months. Man, that's man.
the world hello.
Watts says that the hospital did pay
Look
for
at that
Alani
little
to
baby.
fly back home to Atlanta, where she's currently bedridden. This is what she looks like today. Nearly 7 months later, she still can't open her eyes and is in
How do you hit, like, what was you doing to make somebody not be able to open their eyes? What?
weekly therapy.
Since day one, they were telling me what she will be able to do and won't do, and she's been showing the opposite. Everybody said they miss Alani. She was the life of the party, like her mom. But I know my baby.
What the fuck that got to do with something? Like her mom. Is she smiling? That shit crazy. I don't know, man. That it just seemed off with her, man. She was the life of the party, like her mom. What the fuck that had to do with something?
For the party, like her mom. But I know my baby's going to be whole again.
There is a GoFundMe campaign set up to help out with Alani's mounting medical bills.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
raised
lot.
just under $2,000 so far. We did also hear back from the Sheriff's Department. They say in addition to those child abuse charges, they also found an unsecured assault rifle and a handgun inside of Alexander's bedroom at the time. So consequently, he also faces 4 additional weapons charges and is due back in court July 7th for a preliminary hearing.
July 7th. That's my birthday. I want to see what's going on. I'm going to check back up with this.
For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter.
That's it. Yo, man. I don't know. My prayers goes up to the baby. I hope she beat all the odds and get her life back to normal. The mom doesn't seem 100% to me. I just the feeling I get when I watch her body language, she's smiling. She's making references about herself, making this about her, like her mom. Like, what? Shut up. And then the punk ass father, like, man, I don't know, man. It don't seem, I don't know, man. I don't know how you got 5 adults in that house, 4 other adults in that house, and allow that to happen. A woman too is in that house, and you allow that to happen. How is that possible? Like, if you see some shit going on, if that was me, and let's just, my family member, somebody who's staying in this house with me as my family member, my nephew, or even my uncle, brother, whoever it was, and I see them abusing this child, oh, we gonna have a fucking problem. That's it. We gonna have a problem. Cause I'm putting my hands on you. Cause there's no way if you still be able to get her, it's after you beat me the fuck up. Because it's no way that I'm gonna allow that, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. This story is this is terrible, man, for that 4-year-old baby. I like I said, prayers up. He going to court on the 7th. Hopefully they have some type of update, and I'll make a separate video about that, man, so we can try to like keep track and see what the charges really is and what really happened. But that baby probably can't even speak. She's able to tell her story. She probably can't even speak. She can't even open her eyes right now. I don't know, man. That this one triggered me. Like I said, I'm a girl dad, and I'm just I don't play abuse at all, especially for kids, man. I don't that shit not cool. I don't care, man. It's just, you a grown man and you beating your own daughter. That's crazy.